Hi everybody, BT here with FXLiveDayTrading.com. I wanted to make a video that's just going to be going over the technical analysis on the Aussie US dollar. As you know, Aussie dollar is a risk on pair, has a good correlation to the stock markets, okay? Especially the S&P 500 index. A lot of traders who want to get exposure to the stock market, let's say the stock market is moving higher, oftentimes what they'll do is take a long if they start to see the stock market moving higher, and then take a short if they start to see the stock market moving lower. Now there is other variables that often trigger moves in the Aussie dollar. One of the variables that you may want to take a note of is gold. So if you are starting to see a major sell-off in gold and the stock market is maybe just kind of consolidating, going sideways, or sometimes the stock market is moving higher, you may want to stay away from the Aussie dollar. Okay, now if you see a stock market moving lower and you also see gold moving lower, then you may want to consider shorting the Aussie dollar during the US session. So normally that is the case. Nothing is ever guaranteed in trading, of course, which makes it so challenging. But these are just some very basic correlations that you may want to jot down, and you may want to open these charts, especially if your broker provides CFDs, which is a compilation of different futures in one Forex account. Now that's not an option since new regulations were passed, which I personally consider ridiculous in the United States, but outside the United States the CFDs are an option. So it's a very organized compilation where you'll have your different futures and Forex also in one account. So if your preferred platform is MT4, this could be very convenient. Now let's get to the Aussie dollar. I have here a daily chart, and there's no movement going on. It is a Saturday here. I'm just kind of going over and jotting down some important key technical levels. But you can obviously see that there's a strong move to the downside, and there has been in the Aussie US dollar. Now in jumping to the weekly chart, we do see some levels, one which was almost hit this week, not quite to the pip was it hit. That was right around that 96.64 is what we hit, right around that level. Came a little bit higher. I marked that on my chart on the Aussie US dollar. So that is something to watch for this week. When that's actually going to come into play, we don't know. Now let's jump to the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, kind of looks to me like we're getting ready to head back down and retest that 96 level, or a 96.65. However, you just never know over the weekend. We start to get some news, pro news on Greek. Anything that might squeeze these shorts. It is now a record that the least amount of traders are now involved in the Aussie US dollar as far as a long position. So you want to be really careful if you're holding this. Of course we can flush down, but we can also see a short squeeze, but we haven't seen any type of short squeeze so far. So getting to these key levels, we have 97.27 that I'm going to be watching. It's just a consolidation low. Be watching this to see if it breaks. If it breaks that, of course, then we have the 97, and then below that we have the 96.65. To the upside, what we have now, we're looking at that 98 level. Let's just get a little closer. Alright, so really like a break of the 98. And then what do we have above that? If we jump to our 4-hour chart, this here is a pretty significant level. This is the 99 level. I consider the 99 level to be a possible catalyst for the bulls, a turning point if you will. So if we end up getting above the 99 level this week, I'll be looking to I actually have some small longs now, swing longs, very small, but I'll actually be looking to add it at 99. So we'll see. I'll be making some videos on this Aussie dollar, but really interesting. We still have a strong trend to the downside. Will this trend be reversed this week? We sure don't know, but the facts are that there is a major amount of euro dollar shorts out there. In fact, it's record, and a record number of Aussie dollar longs to the low side. In other words, the least amount of Aussie dollar longs. I'll make a video into the week, and everybody have a good one. If you'd like more information to check out some of the training services we offer, both in Euro and US session, go to fxlivedaytrading.com. Have a great one.